I want to take a moment and talk about what's going on with silver prices right now and how it relates to inflation. And silver and gold are one of the best ways to measure inflation, because as we see inflation, people put their money into silver and gold, investors, to hedge against inflation. But if you look at the price of silver, I mean, it's up 500% in a couple of years. We're almost at $50 right now. And this was at a spot price of $10 just a couple of years ago. And this is something that's been around since the beginning of time. In November, the spot price was at $25. So we're up 100% in the last, 4 or 5 months. And that's insane. Part of that's inflation. Most of that's actually not. Most of that's just psychological markets. And psychology is always the biggest driver of any market. The big real estate bubble we saw that went on through 05, 06 and popped at the beginning of 07, that was driven by psychology. People thought real estate always goes up. And obviously that bubble burst. What's going on with silver right now is that, yes, investors are putting their money into silver and gold as a hedge against inflation, as are now a lot of people in the middle class even are starting to do that. And that's most of what's fueling this skyrocketness right now of silver. And yes, I know skyrocketness is not a word. But if you look at it, the best is yet to come in terms of inflation, and best not meaning good, but critical mass of what we're going to see of inflation is yet to come. But there's no indication of the government or the Federal Reserve or the International Monetary Fund or the central banks stopping any of what they're doing right now. Printing money, this quantitative easing, which is where the Federal Reserve buys treasuries. It's the equivalent of you or I printing money to go pay off our credit cards. And these things are fueling inflation, but they're fueling the price of commodities quicker than even the inflation, like when it comes to silver and gold, because of the psychology behind that. It's a growing trend. People are seeing that silver's up 200% in the last 4 or 5 months, and they're diving into silver and gold to make money. The value of gold and silver in relation to food, oil, all these things, over time pretty much stays equal. Value is value, but price is up and down. And so we are seeing inflation right now, and we're about to see a lot more inflation, and it's going to lead to hyperinflation before we know it in the real near future. But right now, the biggest driver of silver and gold is the fact that everybody knows that inflation's coming. And that's what's really driving it right now, because silver is actually up more than the dollar is down. I mean, the dollar is down, it's going into the toilet, but silver and gold are going up faster than the dollar is going down. And the dollar is going down fast, don't get me wrong, but that's what's causing this psychological change and what's getting people to catch on. So before we see hyperinflation and all these things, and before we see a gold and silver bubble burst, we are going to see people outside coin shops and bullion shops, long lines just to buy it and dumping their dollars. And you can check out some of my other videos. I think after that, what I think is going to pop the gold and silver bubble is going to be when the world bankers get together with the big governments and they come out with a one world currency. And I think we're going to see that in the near future, and that's what's going to what will burst that bubble. But I think we're a long ways from seeing that right now, and I still think the precious metals are a great buy right now as a hedge against inflation and as an investment if you have liquid cash sitting around, because cash is trash right now, and it's going to zero inevitably. So I hope that clears some stuff up for some of you out there. I hope that encourages some investors out there, and keep following these trends, keep watching the news, keep educating yourself, and we'll pull through this thing together. Education is key, financial education is key, and real is key. We need to get real quick. There's a lot of people in this country against a small amount of rich and elitists and government bureaucrats, and we need to take this country back.